The Way Back is the latest sports drama from the director of Miracle and Warrior. So let's talk about it. I've said it many times before on my channel, but Warrior was one of my favorite films of the last decade. So the idea of the director of Warrior, Gavin O'Connor, returning to the sports drama genre had me very excited. Likewise, he previously teamed up with Ben Affleck on the movie The Accountant, another movie that I really liked. So everything about this movie seemed perfect for me. What did I think about it? I'll tell you in just a second. Be sure to tell me what you thought down below in the comment section. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in the middle? With that said, let's get started with the good. And easily the best thing about this film is Ben Affleck's performance. The movie really centers on the character's journey and exploring what's driving the isolation as well as the alcoholism, and watching him try to battle through all of that. And this might be the best that Ben Affleck has ever been. If you don't know kind of what his life has looked like over the last several years, he's had serious struggles with addiction. He's gone through a divorce, and this movie is kind of part of his journey of recovery itself, as he wanted to tell a story about what he was going through. And so he had so much to draw on to communicate what was going on in this character, because it's what he had just been through in his own personal life. And so you see him as this guy that you're rooting for him to succeed, but he's so self-destructive that it's heartbreaking at times to watch the choices that he makes. And you see how broken he is in a way that we've very rarely seen this version of Ben Affleck. We've seen charming guy, blockbuster guy. This is a dramatic performance that really explores what happens when a person is broken at their core. And likewise, to that point, another great thing about this film is, like most great sports movies, the sports is really just the metaphor for what's going on inside of our lead character. The movie is really about this character arc, and the sports aspect is a visualization of that internal struggle inside of the character. So at times it seems like sports is on the back burner, but that's because we're seeing what's going on with the character. Now, when we do sports sections in the film, they can be very vibrant and exciting because you are rooting for this team to succeed, and even more so, you're rooting for him to be that best version of himself, that you know he can be this person that can be inspiring to them if only he would make the right choices. And so because of that, even at times, it's more so that you're rooting for him, even more so than them scoring baskets. Along those same lines, because the movie focuses so much on Ben Affleck's character's journey, it's able to subvert some of the tropes of the genre. There's only so many things you can do with a fairly familiar plot about a new coach coming in to try and take a ragtag team of players to be successful. And because we're focusing so much on his character, the drama added into the mix, the way that it has payoff in the third act, where it takes the story in the second half of the film, isn't really what you normally see in this type of film, because it is so character driven and so much about the coach's journey. On the dramatic side of things, the trailers give you a good idea what the plot is in regards to the sports aspect of the film, but there's a lot of twists and turns in regards to the actual central drama of the film with Ben Affleck's characters. You get about halfway through the movie and it starts to kind of reveal some things. There's some twists and some turns, and you dig deep into what's going on, and some of it I didn't see coming. My wife was supposed to go see it with me, and it's actually probably a good thing she didn't go see this film, because it gets really heavy at times and pulls on a lot of different emotions. And that's what I love when a movie can touch on kind of the full spectrum of human emotion and experience, because you have so many lows in this film, so much exploration of tragedy, self-destruction, as well as victory in the ways you would expect in a sports drama, as well as other ways, because it's so much about the character. Another element I liked about the film was Madrigal's performance. I know him mostly from being a comedian on The Daily Show, so as the funny guy. So seeing him here playing really just a teacher, side coach for the team that has to kind of help Ben Affleck's character get used to being on this Catholic basketball coach role was a nice change of pace, and I thought he did a really good job in the film. And one more thing I enjoyed about the film was the score for the film was quite powerful at times. Reminded me a good bit of the Man of Steel theme, which That's a great score to be compared to. Overall, this is a very powerful sports emphasis on drama that explores this character through a great performance from Ben Affleck. From there, let's move on to the mixed aspects of the film. The big one here is that it very much is a drama. It very much is about Ben Affleck's character. And so if you go into this movie just expecting tons of basketball games, getting to know the team really well, that's not what this movie really is. It even takes a little while before we get to the basketball aspect of things. And at times, it just skips right over basketball games because the emphasis isn't on that. It's on what's going on with Ben Affleck. So you just need to go in with right expectations. The drama is on the front burner and sports is on the back burner. From there, let's move on to the negative. There were a few things here that bothered me. First off, it takes a little while to get going. It spends 20-25 minutes just showing us how isolated Ben Affleck's character is, what his alcoholism looks like, and it's just showing us. It's not really exploring it just yet, and it takes a little while before we kind of get to the basketball stuff, so it can feel like, all right, let's get to it, let's see what's kind of going on here. And on the one hand, it does kind of create a tension as you're kind of, what's going on with this guy? Why is he like this? And it starts to answer that in the second half of the film. But in this other sense, you're also kind of like, all right, we need something here to hook us more than saying, all right, this guy is kind of a train wreck right now. Likewise, when you get into the sports aspect, the specific plot line about the team basically has all of the usual tropes of high school sports drama with new coach coming in that you expect, where you have the cocky guy, you have the person that's shy that has all the talent, they're losing and then they discover something, they start to make the comebacks. It's a lot of the usual stuff that you expect from this. All of kind of the nuance that makes it interesting is that kind of that character study that's on top of the sports drama. But when it is the sports movie, it's a lot of the stuff that you've seen many times before. Because of all of this, I would say the second half is a good bit better than the first half, because that's where you start to kind of dig a little bit deeper and kind of deviate from what you expect from a film like this. Real quick, before I give you my final score on this one, be sure to tell me what you thought down below in the comment section. Did it exceed your expectations? Were you disappointed by it? Did you want it to be more of a sports movie? Let me know what you thought. Overall, this is another solid sports drama from Gavin O'Connor with a career best from Ben Affleck, but not quite as good as some of Gavin O'Connor's previous sports films. Overall, I'd give this one a B+ on the entertainment scale. I'm going with an 8.5, and you should definitely check this one out in theaters. On a more serious note, this movie deals with alcoholism and isolation. That's something I've gone through myself. I've been through recovery for alcoholism, and I've kind of told my story. You can check it out right over there. If that's something that you're going through, you're not alone. Other people have been through it, and there is hope on the other side. You can see my story right over there. Hopefully it can help you out.